Hey everyone, in this Adobe InDesign tutorial, I'm going to show you how to create navigation buttons for an interactive PDF document. In this example, I'm going to show you how to create buttons that jump to specific pages in a layout using the buttons and forms as well as the bookmarks panel. So let's get started. I have a document here that I am going to eventually export out as a PDF interactive. I've set up an index page consisting of 4 images here that I'm going to create into buttons and have them jump to specific pages within my layout. Before we get started, we have to open 2 panels, buttons and forms and bookmarks. They can both be accessed by going to Window, Interactive, Bookmarks, Buttons and Forms. So go ahead and open both of those up and just tear off the windows and have them on your workspace so you don't have to keep going into the flyouts here. It's easy just to toggle between the two, which is great. Okay, let's turn these 4 images into buttons. So what I've done here actually is I have the image grouped with the text. This way, regardless of where I'm clicking on the image, it's a button. Okay, so I'm going to click on the first one. I'm going to make the type into a button. And before I go any further, if I had set an action on this, if I click on the plus sign here and create an action for it, the PDF options are right here for navigation. So I can go to a first page, last page, next page, previous page. If this was an EPUB, you can actually set it to go to an actual page within a layout. But when you're working with a PDF, it doesn't give you that option. But I'm going to show you how to create it so it does go to a specific page. Let's continue on and click our second button image and create it into a button. And go ahead and do that for the third and the fourth image. Great, they're all buttons now. Before I set an action, we have to create bookmarks to specific areas in this layout so that when I click on this image, any of the images, it's going to jump to the bookmark that I've set it to. So for instance, lift. If I go into page 4, that's where I want this to be. That's where I want that button to jump to. So in my pages panel, I've already clicked on page 4. I'm going to switch over to my bookmarks, and down below here, I'm going to create a new bookmark. And I always suggest, much like with the buttons, is go ahead and rename it. And because this section is called lift, I'll call it just that, lift. Let's click on page 6, create a new new bookmark, and this one's boxing, so I'll call it box. Let's go to page 8, create a new bookmark, and this one's called run. And finally, let's click on the last page, page 10, create a new bookmark, and this one's called train. Perfect. We have set up 4 bookmarks that corresponds with the sections in this layout. Let's go back to our index page. I'm going to click on lift, go back to buttons and forms, and now we can create an action that will go right to the lift section in this layout. So I've already set it as a button. I'm going to click on the plus sign action, and for this, I'm going to go to destination. You can see that it's already set. The document, it's going to search the document that I have. So this is June 30th, 2020 tutorial. And the destination I want it to go to is not box. I want this to go to lift. Perfect. Let's click on the second one, box. Create another action and have it go to a destination. And the destination is box, so I'll just leave it at that setting. Let's click on run, create an action for it to go to a destination. Let's change the destination name to run. And finally, let's click on the last image and set an action to go to a destination. And finally, let's set that last one to train. Perfect. So all these buttons now have been set to go to those specific pages. Let's give it a test and see how it looks. I'm going to go up to File and Export. And when you export it, you're going to have to change it from PDF print to PDF interactive. And go ahead and save that. And when you export it, just make sure that you're exporting all the pages. I set the open in full screen mode as an option, just so when I'm opening it up, it does open in full screen. You can uncheck it actually, and I'm going to show you how it looks the other way, and then I can show you how it looks in the full screen. So let's export it and see how it looks. Okay, so I've opened it up here in my Adobe Acrobat DC. I'm going to go up to View, and let's create it in full screen mode. So there's my index. I'm going to click Lift. There's Lift. Let's go back. Box. There's the box section. There's Run. And finally, there's Train. You can see it goes right to those sections. Now I'm going to show you how to create a button and bookmark to go back to the index page by using these little icons that I've set on the pages. Now that our index page navigation buttons are set up, it's time to show you how to create another button on these icons to take you back to the index page. You don't want to click on one of these, go to page 10, and then have to scroll back up to the index page. Let's go ahead and click on this first one and create it into a button. Let's go to page 6 and do the same to the other buttons. Page 9. And then the last page, let's create that last one into a button as well. Perfect. As you guessed it, we have to create another bookmark that will have these icons lead back to. In this case, we want to go back to page 2, which is our index page, and create another bookmark. And I'm going to call this one Index. Great, let's go back to page 5. Click on that button. Go back to Buttons and Forms. And in the action, let's go to Destination. And we want the destination in this case to be Index. Okay? Now, what I would normally do is just copy that button and then paste it in place in the other pages. But I've already have these ones set up, so I'm just going to go through the process. Go to Destination, Destination Index. Let's go to page 9. Go to Destination, Destination Index, and then finally the last one here. Click on it, click on the action, go to Destination. Destination is index page. And that is it. So let's go ahead and try it out again. Okay, so I have the document open in Acrobat Pro again, and I'm going to click on Lift. It's going to take me to the Lift section. I'm going to click on the icon that we set up a button to go back to the index. Click on Box. There's the box section. I'm going to click on this button, back to index. Click on Run. There's the Run section. Click on this icon to take you back to the index. And finally, click on Train. There's the Train section. Click on the icon back to the index. So that's how you create navigation buttons for PDF Interactive using the Buttons and Forms panel and bookmarks in Adobe InDesign. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. That's it for today. We'll talk to you soon and take care. Bye now.